But
Yeah.
you want to go ahead and, since somebody who's already called in early,
We can hit a phone call. This is a good time
let's
to
go
do it.
ahead and take a phone call. Is this Ben?
Yep.
How you doing, Ben?
Good, good. Yeah, I just wanted to say a long-time listener. Well, at least for the whole summer, I love the show. I think it's great.
Thanks.
I'm glad
Where are you
guys
calling
put
from?
Stuff out there. Southern Ontario, actually.
Okay.
So I'm a university student in Northern Ontario for most of the year, and like I said, I've been watching this for a little while, and I've actually got some friends to come and watch it, and people are really loving the show. And what I wanted to call about is one friend who was raised a Catholic. He recently became an atheist, I think through a lot of discussions with me, a lot of his own experience, and actually reading about it and finding out the ridiculousness of it.
Right.
And recently he was just diagnosed with kidney cancer a few days ago. And it's possibly terminal. He has to go through many extremely painful treatments, and it's been very difficult for him, of course, and for me as well. And so I wanted to call in and say, what is your take on death through an atheist worldview? Because he kind of looks at me as a philosophy student and, you know, a really strong atheist to try to give him some insights, but I'm a little lost here. I've given him the Mark Twain quote about, you know, I've been dead for billions of years, and
Right.
the Richard Dawkins from Unweaving the Rainbow that, you know, we're the lucky ones, but it seems sometimes almost empty. Just wanted to get your thoughts on what you really think about it.
Yeah, it may not be enough. It may not be enough for a lot of people, and I've talked to people who say that the primary reason they're believers, and in this case I wouldn't necessarily call them believers, I'd call them people who act as if they believe, is because they have a fear of what happens after you're dead. It just seems like such a waste that, you know, once you're dead it's over, when there's this alternate version that I consider to be a fairy tale that you get to keep on living forever. Who wouldn't enjoy it? Who wouldn't prefer that? Mm-hmm. Maybe not forever. I mean, I think things diminish in value.
I might get a little bored.
But it may not be consoling. It may not be joyous, wonderful, comforting news. But that doesn't mean it's not true.
Right.
As far as we know, this is the one and only shot you've got at life. And as unfortunate it is for your friend who's been diagnosed with a potentially, you know, lethal disease or condition, it sucks. I mean, it really, really sucks. And if he'd be happier with platitudes and people, you know, talking about how he's going to live forever and don't worry, you know, when you're dead, you know, everything will be much better and you'll be in heaven with the angels and you know, you won't have to eat Jesus crackers anymore. You can just talk to Jesus right there.
Well, it's not all fun and games, right? The religions play on the fear of death too, right? They say, well, you know, if you don't do the right things, you're going to go burn in hell, and if you don't believe or whatever, so they're playing on that.
Yeah.
And you know, we have no reason to believe you're going to be tortured forever when you die either. So you know, neither one of those is necessarily true. Neither one of those is helping the person, I think, in the long run.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, one of the things, of course, if you're an atheist, that not only do you you know, live your life as based on the belief that you're not going to go to heaven after you die, but also that you're not going to go to hell after you die,
right.
or be reincarnated as some lower or higher form of animal or anything like that. I don't know that there's anything you can really say. A lack of belief in the supernatural doesn't come with any promise of comfort. Mm-hmm. That type of thing is something that you find on your own that transcends atheism. And for me personally, I live my life as though it's the only one I'm going to get, because that's where the evidence points. Maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there's not, but I'm convinced that I'm living this life. And so I'm going to enjoy it as much as possible, do the most good, the least harm, try to get along with people, share experiences with people, build that up. Hopefully, memory of me will live on in other people. I will have enjoyed my time here. And when I'm dead, well, I don't think I'll probably know about it unless I'm given warning like your friend has been. If I were to be diagnosed tomorrow with a disease that told me I had a month to live, I wouldn't be upset or mad that I don't have this promise of an afterlife, because I don't think it's real. What I do is make the most of the month that I have left, and and spend it with people I care about, doing things that I enjoy, and recognizing that, sometimes some people get dealt the short straw. There's nothing we can do about it. And the other thing is that there's no guarantee that your friend's going to die.
That's true.
The other thing is getting beyond the superstitious nonsense that a lot of religions want to push. We can work together to improve medicine to where some of these diseases and conditions are no longer terminal.
Right. And one thing I was thinking of, the one thing I love about atheism and rational thinking is that there's a lot less guilt in life. I find your actions, you don't have to feel as guilty about things. They're just reality. And the first time I think I've really ever felt some guilt, and I'm not sure how reasonable it is when it was right after he really deconverted, I guess you'd say, and through a lot of my discussions with him, that this happened to him. And it's almost like, I feel guilty that I've almost taken this away from him, that he had that comfort.
Well, you've taken a security blanket away, maybe from a crying child. It's kind of like that. But maybe you give them a chance to see that there's another world out there, and they can make up their own meaning in their own world or their own life, and make their life meaningful, so that when they die, they will have felt like they've done something with their lives and done something good.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I do the show, I mean, this show isn't necessarily about deconversion or converting people to away from their religious beliefs, although that's certainly a part of it. I'd be perfectly happy if the entire world embraced reason and gave up superstitious ideas. I don't think that that's plausible or likely to happen anytime soon. But I'd like that. But what I'm not going to do is go trying to take away people's belief. I'll certainly try to convince people, but I'm not going to take away hope regardless. Hope is not the same thing as faith.
Right. And
your friend can still have hope that the condition is not terminal. May or may not be true, but he needs to face reality on reality's terms and come to an understanding that, it completely sucks, and he's probably going to have a much shortened life, but that the remaining time is far better spent on trying to enjoy it than moping about it or being concerned that you may have missed out on some unsubstantiated afterlife.
I think also another contributing thing of discussion is that when he was undergoing a treatment a few days ago, his heart stopped and he died for 45 seconds. And he was talking to me about that experience because it was actually interesting. About 2 weeks earlier, before he was diagnosed, we were talking about maybe what death would actually be like, and maybe you'd see some things. And he said, you just fade to black and it's gone. And it seemed like he felt a little upset by that, but it almost gave him some comfort that death is not going to be that scary. It's just going to be a fade out. You'll disappear.
That may be and some good points there.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, we got a bunch of stuff to get to in full lines, but we appreciate the call.
All right, yeah, thanks.
And
Keep the show
I
going.
hope that your friend receives the best medical care. He's up in Canada, so at least he's got some options without going broke in the process or breaking family members in the process. So
that's right.
If he gets better, feel free to call back in and let us know. And also, if you talk to him more about this whole death thing, send me an email or call into the show and let us know how he's dealing with it. And if other people out there, other viewers, other atheists, have suggestions and recommendations, please feel free to send those in as well.
All right.
One last comment while you're still on the line. I think you're doing your friend a great service by having a conversation with him about this experience that he's going to go through. And I think that's a true mark of friendship.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. And thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.